Coptic stitch binding is one of the oldest known book structures, distinguished by its exposed spine and elegant chain-link stitching. Constructed from multiple folded sections, or signatures, this binding is sewn together and attached directly to its covers without the use of adhesive along the spine. The result is a flexible, durable book that opens completely flat, making it especially well-suited for writing, drawing, and display. Unlike many other bindings, a Coptic book block is typically flush at the head, tail, and foredge. This makes it an excellent entry point for beginners and intermediate bookbinders, since the trimming equipment isn't required to achieve a clean and finished result. Coptic bindings are traditionally sewn using a single needle and a continuous length of thread. While a straight needle can be used, many binders find that a curved needle offers greater control when working around the spine. The structure itself is defined by a chain stitch that runs along the spine, with kettle stitches at the head and tail to anchor the sewing. We'll begin by preparing the covers. Coptic bindings can be made with either hard or soft covers. Historically, wooden boards were used, but modern interpretations typically use bookboard for a balance of strength and workability. For this project, we're using 80-point Davies binder's board, cut to 4.75 inches by 7.125 inches for both the front and back covers. The boards are covered in book cloth with decorative paper adhered to the inside as a finished end sheet. We've added a piece of 10-point Bristol board to fill in the surface inside the turn-ins. This allows for the end sheets to sit flush. Next, we'll prepare the book block. A minimum of 5 signatures is recommended to properly showcase the spine structure, though more can be added depending on the desired thickness of the book. For this example, we'll be using 5 signatures. Each signature is made up of 4 sheets of paper, cut to 4.75 by 14.5 inches, and folded grain short to ensure proper page movement and durability at the fold. Once folded, the signatures are nested and stacked in order to form the text block. With the signatures prepared, we can determine the sewing stations. Sewing stations are the points where the thread passes through the signatures and covers. In the signatures, these stations are placed along the fold. On the covers, they are positioned slightly inset from the spine edge, at a minimum of 3 millimeters to allow for a secure attachment. The number of sewing stations will vary depending on the size of the book and structural needs. Each book should have 1 station at the head and 1 at the tail, with at least 1 and ideally 2 or more stations spaced evenly between them. For this binding, we'll be using 5 sewing stations spaced approximately 1 inch apart. To ensure consistency, a punch template is created. This template allows us to transfer the exact placement of each sewing station across all signatures and both covers. Accuracy is essential at this stage. Even slight misalignment can cause the text block to shift or sit unevenly once sewn. Using the template, we pierce all signatures along the fold, and then pierce the cover boards at the corresponding inset positions. With all sewing stations prepared, we're ready to begin sewing. Start at the first hole inside the first signature at the head or tail of the book. Pass the needle through the outside, leaving approximately 2 inches of thread inside the signature. Wrap the thread around the spine edge and enter the corresponding hole in the front cover from the outside. Pull the thread snug so the cover fits flush against the signature. Then, pass the needle behind the thread that connects the cover and the signature, creating a locking loop. Pull the thread away from the spine to secure the stitch. Return the needle into the same hole in the signature and tie off the working thread with the reserved 2-inch tail. Once knotted, carefully return through the adjacent hole back to the outer spine. Repeat the process at each sewing station until the first signature is fully attached to the front of the cover. Wrapping the thread around the spine edge of the cover board, behind the thread connecting it to the signature to form a locking loop, and then back into the same hole. It is important to be consistent in the direction you wrap to ensure a clean chain stitch pattern. At the final station, instead of tying off, enter the corresponding hole in the second signature. From inside the second signature, pass the needle out through the next hole and pull the thread tight. On the outside, loop the needle under the thread connecting the first signature and the cover. This creates the first link in the chain stitch. Return the needle into the same hole in the second signature, taking care not to pierce or split the existing thread. Continue this process across each sewing station. As you add each new signature, repeat the same sequence, passing from inside to outside, linking under the previous stitch, and returning into the signature. With each row, the chain link pattern along the spine becomes more defined. Continue sewing until all the signatures have been attached. When you reach the final signature, position it between the previous signature and the back cover. Hold everything in alignment Pass the needle from the outside of the back cover into the corresponding sewing station. Pull the thread tight, then loop it around the existing stitch, just as you did when attaching the front cover. Next, guide the needle between the previous two signatures to complete the linkage. Then return the needle into the corresponding hole of the final signature. Take your time here, as the hole may be difficult to see. Once inside, continue sewing across all remaining stations using the same pattern. At the final sewing station, pass the needle into the signature and secure the thread by looping it behind the previous stitch to form a knot. Pull tight, then trim away any excess thread. The finished result is a strong, flexible binding with a fully exposed spine that highlights the craftsmanship of its construction.